And welcome to the super fun, awesome, happy time. Is it a dream or is it not? Pedal Show. My name is Gabor.
Hey, welcome along. I'm Alex. We're going to check out the Dream 65 Reverb Amp from UA. This pedals an amp sim.
Yeah.
And we're going to check out what it does today.
Get
some sounds.
Indubitably.
Please hit like and subscribe on the channel. Give us a thumbs up, ding the bell, comments below, all that kind of stuff would be fantastic. Thanks very much.
And I just want to mention right from the start, I purchased this. This is in no way, shape or form sponsored by Universal Audio. We've never done any work with Universal Audio. The reason why there was that little thing up there saying that it contains promotional stuff is because of guitars and things that you see, but not because of this pedal. Now, I bought this because I like the idea of it, because I was hoping that someone would release a pedal such as this for quite a while.
Yep.
And then they finally listened to me and made this.
Did they listen to you?
Yeah, they listened to me.
So
no, it's basically one amp in a pedal.
Yep.
It's there. They've gone through a whole bunch of different 65 deluxe reverb amps, picked the one they like the best, and then it's not IRs on there, it's their own thing, which is what they used in the aux box as well. It's their own kind of speaker emulation thing. So apparently they went as far as putting all these different vintage speakers into the cabinet and using that. So it's all done in ways that is anally retentive is probably the best word to say it
Sure.
when it comes to UA stuff.
So to hear it, we're going directly into an Apollo 16.
More UAD stuff.
Yeah, more, no plugins, no hardware, just direct in.
And there's most likely going to be a couple of videos with this. The first video today, we're just looking at, we're basically in what they call live mode. So we'll look at some presets maybe as well, and you can reassign what the foot switches do. We'll get into all that, but we're basically going to just look at what you can do with it, look at the different speaker combinations, look at the different boost mods, and what everything does, basically.
Okay. Well, I'd give you a clean tone, but we're going through the pedal, aren't we?
We're going through the pedal. So basically now we're set on... We're going to start off with using the Oxford speaker, which is kind of the standard speaker that would come in a 65 Deluxe Reverb, with all the controls at 12 o'clock, the boost turned off, and no vibrato.
Okay.
So you basically have the same controls on it that you would have on the amp, except for the output. So it's basically a no master volume amp, where the volume is basically the input gain. So like with a lot of these sort of smaller, or like, and the dog's out of here.
Keep going.
Halfway out of here. With a lot of these amps, the more you turn the volume up, the louder it gets, but it also starts driving the amp after a little while.
Yep.
You've got a reverb, you've got, like I said, the output volume, so that's the overall output volume. And there goes the dog. Bye-bye, dog. You have bass and treble, and then you have the boost. We'll get to the boost later on. You also have secondary functions on those two. So at the moment, that toggle switch in the middle, it says amp, it says alt, and it says store. So if you flick it down, you can store preset. If you flick it up, it goes to alt, which is those two knobs become the speed and intensity of the tremolo, vibrato, but really tremolo. This switches between 3 different boost modes, which you can engage, we'll get into later on. And then this switches between the different cabinets that it comes with. So what do you want to do first? What do you want to look at first?
Should we just hear some drive out of it?
Just push the amp. Okay, so to have it clean, you have it. You put it fairly low.
Yep.
EQ, anything? You want any more bass, more treble, or 12 o'clock is good?
Let's start with up middle.
Okay. So I mean that's, and I had some reverb there too.
Sure.
That's without engaging the boosts. That's how distorted it gets. It gets quite. It's to me like somewhere in the middle there. It's a great
Just
sort
on
of
the edge.
broken up sound.
Just on the edge. Okay, so what's next?
Should we? Let's find a sound that we like.
Yeah.
And then let's try the different speaker
Let's
combinations.
do that.
You happy with that?
Yeah, great.
Anything else you want to change on it, or
Maybe just a little less treble. It's slightly
a little less treble?
bright
Okay.
with the telly.
Okay. So now, and I'll get my little cheat sheet for that just so I know what I'm talking about. So at the moment, we're in a middle position, which is the original Oxford 12K56 speaker in a blackface deluxe amp mic'd with a 57, right?
Cool.
So that's basically, if you would have bought a 65 deluxe reverb, that's what would be in it, right? Now, let's go up. So up is a greenback, Celestian greenback, which apparently a lot of guys in the 80s, a lot of the studio guys, the Luthicas, the Landaus, those kind of people,
Yep.
did.
People with L.
With L, yeah, lots
names.
of L. So vintage Celestian greenback speaker in a blackface deluxe amp, mic'd with an M160 ribbon mic.
Okay.
It's a classic Celestian bark with a smooth upper mid-range of a 60s ribbon mic.
Check it out. Yeah, I like how that.
I think we are both people that are used to greenback speakers, so
Yep.
I think we both like the greenback
It's
thing.
familiar.
It is familiar.
Yeah.
Now, I think, and one of the ways they kind of went, even though it is a deluxe reverb, they kind of expanded it a little bit into other things as well, not just a deluxe reverb, is the way the speakers are organized. Now, by flicking to the down position, right, we're now using an EV, a classic 12-inch 200-watt EV EVM12L with a massive magnet in a blackface deluxe, mic'd with a 414 condenser mic, which is something that, for example, in the whole Dumble world,
Yep.
I believe you used EV speakers a lot.
Definitely.
So this is kind of bringing it, and then once we get into the boost, it's kind of bringing it into the Dumble world as well. So let's start off with the one in the middle,
Okay.
then I go up, and then I go to the one down, just so we can hear the three different speakers.
Should have played triplets. Didn't work.
So to me, it's sort of the most open sounding speaker.
Yep. It's because there's no speaker distortion. They're
Yeah,
so
well,
high powered and clean.
That's actually another thing. Let's try this out. So let's push
Sure.
the speakers again. Let's see how they react differently, because that's another thing that it does. It reacts differently depending on the speaker you use.
Sure.
It reacts quite differently
Yeah.
to the gain as well.
Yeah.
Now, that's the three speakers that come on it when you first buy it. Now, if you register it with UAD, there's a USB-C output in the back. If you register it with UAD, you get 3 extra cabinets, right? Which, as you keep flicking, they go green.
Sweet.
So now all of a sudden we have, so the first 3, basically the 3 red ones, are 3 speakers in an actual physical deluxe reverb cabinet.
Yep.
Now the green ones are now external cabinets, which then again change the sound of the amp quite drastically. So the first green one is what they call the S-VERB, which is a vintage. No, hang on. No. Okay, sorry. Is a boutique D65. The top one is boutique D65. Is a boutique 2-rock 2x12 extension cab with Celestion G1265S speakers, and the dog is back making a camera shake. Mic'd with a 57 and a 121 ribbon.
Oui, double.
So this is now a 2-rock 2x12. Classic California ported combo cabinet sound, great for mildly overdriven sounds and cleans up well.
Okay.
So same sound again. Now we're
2-rock.
going into the 2-rock 2x12 extension cabinet. Versus the stock speaker.
Yeah, I much prefer that.
It's quite a different sound, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next one now is the S-VERB, which is a 4x10. But what they did was they basically took an actual super reverb amp and ran the deluxe reverb amp bit into the speaker cabinet. So this is basically, again, this is where it kind of extends what it is. It's not just a deluxe reverb, because it's kind of a super reverb too, with using this. So this is a vintage 1966 4x10 Fender Super Reverb cab with original CTS speakers mic'd with a 414 condenser mic. Plenty of mid-range, great for surf sounds, almost lo-fi.
Right.
So again, we're not changing the settings, same settings, just different speaker cab.
Yeah, you get all that mid-range with the 10s,
yeah.
and not so much bass as the 12s.
Yeah.
Sounds like a thing.
So that's the 4. And the last one
Okay, cool.
is the JBF 120, which is a vintage 68 2x12 Fender Twin. So now again, it kind of enters then the Fender Twin. So I mean, even though you're buying a deluxe reverb, you kind of have a deluxe reverb, kind of a Dumble kind of vibe in it as well. You have the super reverb kind of vibe in it, and you also have a twin reverb vibe in it. So again, they used an actual cabinet, an actual twin reverb, but didn't use the amp in it, but they used the cabinet. So did I mention it? Mic'd with a 57 and a 121 ribbon mic using the original JBL D120F speakers. Very detailed speaker, great for clean and low gain. Excellent fingerstyle playing, very forward and sizzly when used for gain.
Sure is. That reminds me of a twin.
Sizzle there when it.
Yeah.
Okay, now what I want to do is don't look.
Okay.
I'm going to flick through the different cabinets, and you pick the one you like the best, and then we move on using that one.
Okay.
So yeah. So without looking, I'm just going to go to a different thing now. Okay.
This is option A.
Option A.
You're going to go all through all 6?
All 6.
Okay.
Fairly quickly. first one.
What was that?
The first one I think was this one, was the EV.
Ah. Sure.
Let's just keep going with that, right? So we're just picking that
fine.
randomly. Now, next thing, let's check out the boost,
Yo.
right? So with the boost, you have 3 different modes. You've got the standard mode, which we got in now. Let's start with that. So I'm just going to add, but now also, actually should also mention the boost is also assignable to foot switch. So you can assign a boost to a foot switch. So you set it to where you want it, and then you turn it on and off with a foot switch. At the moment, I have it set for that foot switch to toggle between live mode and a preset, and for that to turn a tremolo, vibrato, tremolo on. So the boost, there's an off setting. If it's all the way counterclockwise, it's off, and then you bring it in. So this is what they call the stock boost. Hang on, let's quickly, again, so in stock mode, the boost adds clean gain. The amp tone remains the same, but you can add up to 10 dB of gain to the front of the amp.
Cool.
So it hits the front end, yeah. I mean, that's on a clean setting. Now, if you hit this, so if we're cranking it now as in input volume, so you can get quite a bit of gain there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the next thing, which one do you want to do next? Do you want to do lead or D-TEX?
I don't know what D-TEX is. Lead.
Lead? Okay. So if you flick that up, that now turns into what they call the lead mode. Now, the lead mode, what happens is it removes the bright cap when the knob is above off. So at lower boost settings, the amp sounds warmer. As you increase the boost knob up to about 10 o'clock or so, the mod adds some mid-range from the tone, a stack lift called lead boost. As you increase the gain past noon, the gain increases and the power output is compensated to prevent mushiness. Now that's a bit of apparently another thing that a lot of the guys in the 80s did to get extra boost, extra kind of kazungas out of their deluxe reverb amps.
Sure.
So let's check that out. Just the difference. So that's now back to the stock stock boost. You get quite a lot of boost out of that.
Yeah.
Now the last one is a D-TEX. Now the D-TEX is known as the SRV mod. So that's if you go down. Again, let's turn it off. Let's go down. D-TEX. As with the original mod, vibrato is still available only when the boost knob is set to off. So the vibrato, it uses, I think, the vibrato in one way or another to it, or the vibrato circuitry.
Okay.
So you don't get the vibrato on that mod, and they kept it true to what the original was, that the vibrato is disengaged, even though you use the vibrato channel. The vibrato is only available when a boost knob is set to off. Provides more mid-range and significantly more gain from the preamp stages. In the original hardware, this increases the amount of current to the other tubes. At low settings, just adds a little more. It just adds a little more. Use this mod on low boost knob setting for SRV style soft compression and a more open mid-range. As you turn the boost knob up, The mod reduces the effect of the tone stack, creating a more vocal and open mid-range. Bass and treble knobs have less effect at lower boost values. At the maximum setting, bass and treble knobs have no effect. So it kind of gets rid of the tone stack and the vibrato, basically, as you turn it up. So let's just try it out again. So now if I have both of them cranked.
Woohoo, look out.
There's a lot of gain there, if you want it. So I mean that's the boost section basically. Cool. Let's quickly look at the reverb. So let's go back to that sort of cleany sort of sound that we had before. Let's look at the reverb. It's pretty. Yeah. It's very pretty.
Drips.
All right.
It drips.
It drips. It's a nice sounding reverb. Okay, now we've got a little bit of reverb. I've got tiny little bit of boost in there.
Yeah.
Now, lastly, let's look at the tremolo, or what they call vibrato. So I have it set to that switch turns it on. So it's set to whatever it was set on before. It's a lovely sounding tremolo as well. So as you flick that switch in the middle up, you go to the alternative settings. So the alternative parameters for this is speed and intensity. Sure. So as you turn this up, you get to very choppy tremolo. And like I said, I have it currently set so that switch turns it on and off, but you can reassign the switch to turn the reverb on and off. You can have it like the actual foot switch on a deluxe reverb. One does the tremolo, one does a reverb. Yep. You can assign one to be the boost. You can assign, like I have, this goes to a preset. So it toggles between preset and live mode. I wish there would, the only thing I wish with that is if that there would be some flexibility to maybe plug in an external foot switch, so you could have all the functions that are available for foot switches on foot switches. So you could have reverb, you could have tremolo, you could have the boost and preset and not. So, you know, having that would be cool, but that's not available, unfortunately. But I mean, that's basically everything that's there. You can, lastly, also, when all the lights are off, you can turn off the cab sim and use external cab sims. But I think the idea with what they did with the cabs they chose is they chose stuff that's actually used with a deluxe reverb. I mean, you can stick a Mesa Boogie 4x12 on it if you really wanted to, and that's why they turn it off, so you can have it off and you can use external. You can't load any IRs on it. You can only use their own stuff, but you can get external, you know, like a cab M or something like that, by 2 nodes, and then you can run it with your 2x12 Mesa Boogie and a 2x12, a 4x12 Mesa Boogie and a 4x12 angle cabinet if you really wanted to. So you have that flexibility there.
Yeah, please hit like and subscribe, because we're going to do another video with doing some pedals into it, which could be fun, and do some other stuff with this unit. Please, like I mentioned before, please check out a comment below. Throw a comment below. And do you dig it? Do you like the sound of it? Do you have one of the other ones, like the Woodrow or the
Ruby?
Yeah. Whole kind of new vibe going on with UAD pedals.
Yeah. I really like it. I think it's a killer pedal. Yeah, and like we'll do more videos where we look at presets. We'll look at running pedals into it. We'll look at it maybe running into using it as a preamp, running into the effects return of an amp as well.
That's the thing.
But there'll be more videos for that. So today was just an overview of what's on there and what you can do with it.
Thanks for hanging. Please hit like and subscribe on the channel. Give us a thumbs up. Also, links below to Instagram, Facebook, and podcast. Check those out if you've got a second.
All that fun stuff.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.